So the main thing I wanted to ask you about was this new festival. Was this something that you dreamed of doing for a long time, or?
I guess I did, you know. I never pushed it that much because I thought that's a big undertaking, you know, to have a bluegrass festival. And, you know, I got to go back a few years. I was playing for Bill Monroe back in '63. And this promoter's name was Carlton Haney. And Carlton, he started talking to Bill Monroe about having a bluegrass festival, you know. And Bill said, oh, that won't work, you know, because he was stubborn and he just, he just thought, well, now this is not going to work. So Carlton Haney figured, well, I'll just start it without his permission or whatever, you know, I'll just book him on the show. And so he had that first one in Fincastle, Virginia for 2 years, and he just do the bluegrass story with Bill Monroe as the head of it, you know. And so and I played those, and then in '67 he moved to Berryville, which is northern Virginia. I saw Bill there, you know, and Bill said, I want you to play my festival next year. I'm going to have one in Bean Blossom. So, you know, he finally got it through his head that a bluegrass festival will work, you know. And of course he had a lot of success with that Bean Blossom, you know, all those years. Of course it was kind of, in the beginning those places were kind of crude, you know, they didn't have good facilities and things. It was kind of like the folk festivals were too in those days, you know. They didn't really worry about facilities. And people would take a bath in the river or whatever, you know. So, and I thought, you know, I'd like to do that, but when we found Roy up at Roy Carter up High Sierra.
Now, had you known him because you played at High Sierra, or?
Yes, I did. I knew him before, you know, but I really didn't. I'd never talked to him like about having a festival.
But it sounds like the idea for doing it was really you and your management, and then you found a festival production company to partner with.
Right. We figured, well, now these guys, they know how to do these things, you know, and we know how to play music and maybe book a few bands and all like that, but they know how to produce something like that, you know. He scouted the whole country out in the east because he figured that's where we'd probably want to be, you know. And the first one he showed us was Cumberland, Maryland, and it's the fairgrounds for Cumberland. What it is, it's in Maryland, but the river, the Potomac River, runs right around the fairgrounds. It kind of borders it on one side, and if you look across the river, which ain't far, you know, that's West Virginia. And all that is a rock cliff, I mean straight up, man. It's real beautiful. And he said during the fair, people hang glide off that cliff and down into the fairgrounds, you know. So it's a great sight, and it's a good location for, I think, it's not that far from Pittsburgh. It's not really that far from Chicago and D.C. and Baltimore and Philadelphia, you know, New York City. A lot of folks can ride the train into Cumberland, and they'll bus them out to the fairgrounds too, you know, if people want to do that. But they have a lot of hotels there, you know, and there's a lot of camping in that place. And they got a lot of hookups for campers, modern hookups, and they got rough camping, you know, and all up and down that river there's like rough camping, you know. So we went up there then later in the winter, and the production crew flew from California there, and we met with the sound guy, and he showed us where he's going to have them set the stage and all these things. The parking guy, just all the people, you know, that go along with it.
There's a zillion logistics to think about.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you know you don't even think about, or I don't. But they were telling me all the things. Now we got to do this and that, and here's what we're doing. So they kind of got it all covered, you know. And I really don't have to do much. As far as I know, I'm not definitely sure about this, but I know Vince is going to come play. Vince Gill, that is. Vince Gill, and Sam Bush is committed. David Grisman is committed. And Vince Herman and Drew, I don't know if they'll be there together or separately, but they'll be there. And Dirk Bentley, he's committed to come and play because he'd recorded some of our songs, you know. The Steep Canyon Rangers, they've already said they'll play it. So Bale is playing here too at the festival.
At your festival.
With his
Sparrow Quartet.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I think it'll do good. You know, we got a good lineup.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's really interesting about it is how it brings together the sort of traditional world with these jam band people. So I just wonder talk about that a little bit.
Well, you know, it's a funny thing, Dan. Back in my younger days, a lot of these, I think a lot of the young jam band musicians today came to my shows, you know, and so when they got popular and got their own fans, they wanted us to come and play with them. So that's what we've done through the years, you know. We played shows with Fish, we played shows with Yonder Mountain String Band, you know, and Leftover Salmon and String Cheese Incident there in Colorado, you know. We've done shows with those guys, and so we've become good friends with them, you know. And they have their ideas about music, which I think is great, you know. I think everybody should have their own ideas about music, and it's all related in the end, you know. All music is, I think.
Right, sure.
And so we just have fun with it. Although, you know, I'm still hardcore bluegrass myself, you know.
Right. But the thing that's great is that that you're so well accepted by these other audiences, and also that you seem to feed off of them or something.
Yeah.
I imagine this is something you expect will become a tradition. And
yeah, right. Yeah, we're planning on having it every year, you know. And when I'm not able to do it, my boys, you know, they can do it. The band, you know, they can carry it on. We're trying to set some dates aside in a year for them to just go out, you know, and do some things, and maybe I'll just stay home and walk the floor and wring my hands because I won't know what to do. You know?
So is that the thought, that when that day ever arrives, that the band might carry on?
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, I still feel good, my health's good, you know. For my age, I'm 68, be 69 in February, and I don't feel bad, you know. The only thing I have trouble with my voice sometimes, and I think that comes with age. Yeah. It'll crack and do all kind of funny things, you know. But then some nights it's great, you know. I'll get hoarse now, talking and singing, you know, late at night. But still, my voice is always better on the second day on the road. You know, it always gets better. I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
It's just it gets used to whatever it's doing, I guess. You know.
Well, over the course of DelFest, I imagine we'll hear...
well, it may get better, and it might peak and then circle down. Because I plan on singing with a lot of people there, you know.
I imagine you're going to be on stage a lot that weekend.
Yeah, I will, you know. I'll try to be up there with everybody I can be with, you know.
Yeah. New festival's always a little tricky to, you know, first year...
It's a worry, you know. That first year, you think, boy, what if nobody shows up? Nobody, you know. But you can get insurance too for that, you know. And so I think they're planning on it. But you know, with Roy, I'm looking for it to be a success even the first year, you know. And I don't think we're really thinking about making money, you know. The first year, it's going to be a lot of fun. And if it don't cost too much money, it'll be a lot of fun.